Bam. So we can get in there. Super Mario, please say the super. Marcus all day, video bombing. You know, we up in here in All Clear Nutrition. You know, praying over this Wi-Fi, drinking shakes and hydrate mixed with cranberry aloe and H3O, cranberry aloe, and a smidge of pomegranate tea. Promise you, get your experiment on, add all the products together, make a suicide. You'll find out how good these products are for you and how good stuff tastes. Good to see everybody on there. Coach Cousin Artie, Lauren, Kyra, my dog. Steven, what up? Steven, what up, Joe? What up, Abreu? What up, Kenny? All right, so what I'm going to do is just recap a little bit of the stuff from this President's Team Summit 35th anniversary that we just experienced from Wednesday up until, Saturday night. Amazing things happened. So first it was Wednesday, had like a general session, a little bit of training really early in the morning. So we were learning about nutrition clubs. We were learning about the healthy, active lifestyle. We were learning about weight loss challenges, from people from all over the world on panels and everything, Australia, Russia. And so that was crazy. It was like 3,000 people showed up to these breakout sessions, is what they were called. And they were only expecting a couple hundred, but people are really around the world trying to harness all of what you can do with Herbalife to build their businesses. And we have to be the same way. We have to know as much as we can so that if we have people who may be attracted to different type of businesses, or even as we try to find our own niche with the personal business that you're going to do locally, is to try to learn. So that was amazing. Our upline, Mark and Gelati, they had a section with a panel, which was, tremendous. We all are great at the healthy, active lifestyle right now, right? And then after that, we had the recognition night. So being able to walk the stage again as a brand new President's Team for 2014, once again, an amazing experience. A lot of FaceTime, a lot of recognition, a lot of people rooting for you who watched the journey and being on stage with, the people that I grew up in the business with, that are my sidelines locally in LA and even across, the country. Enrique's, first diamonds, I know them great, personally. And so to be sharing the stage with them again, awesome time. We got these cool medals. That's one of the things I've been attracted to about Herbalife personally is you get medals for a lot of different things at LGWs and extravaganzas. And so it's just more things to collect and be on the journey, right? Thursday, once again, a crazy training. You guys got to get to these things. Like we got the qualifications for next year. Get to these things because the training and the level of conversation that comes out of this, it just propels you to a different place, not just for your vision, but really trying to understand that, as we are business builders and those of us who are taking this health coaching endeavor as it's a business, you get to learn so much. And we're talking about from the top people in the world, Craig, right? So more training. Thursday night we had the Herbalife Family Foundation. This is their 21st year doing it now. So Herbalife Family Foundation, Emerald Ball dinner. They gave us all these big snow globes that look like the Emerald City from Wizard of Oz. We were just bidding on stuff. I actually donated more to be in the front for, the world record workout. So those of you guys who were there, the reason why I was in the front is because I donated more. It's one of the responsibilities that we get to have is as we earn more, we give more. So, being able to do that, with my sponsor, Garen, and, the Chairman's Club members and Founder Circles members that was there, working out with them, working out with the CEO was crazy. It was amazing to see everybody there. Kyron and was there, my brother, and Crystal Claire, and Mia. Who else was there? Amir, who's on the line, he was there. Lauren, who's on the line, was there. Ruben, who might be calling in. Him and his girlfriend were there. It was crazy to see so much of the team, plus the super sidelines that were other urban heroes there. Crazy, right? We broke the world record all over, everywhere. 5,000 people just locally. Amazing time, right? So that was on Saturday. But on Friday, another great general session. You guys, they had after parties. The JW closed down. The way that they put up and the way Herbalife takes care of you, you guys will all find this out. Those of you guys who are qualified for anybody qualified for this first vacation in Hawaii that's going to be going, See a couple people hand raised up. Oh, Reggie, Abreu, good job, though. It's like when we go to Hawaii, this will be like probably one of the first times that they get to experience what Herbalife does in terms of you qualify for something major and how they really, really go overboard for welcoming you and recognizing you, congratulating you, and pushing you to, do more, promoting you guys. So this next vacation, I always like to promote everything that's going on right now personally. So this next vacation, for the Bahamas, Baja Mar, you guys got to get to it. This is high volume. These are active supervisors that we got to get, frontline. These are active world team members that we can get for star qualifications. You guys want to do these things because Herbalife's allowing us to. So, that was good. It was good. And then the gala. Who was here? Where's Amir at? Amir, where you at, dog? Let me try to find you. Is Amir, you still on? Boop, 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 boop. I see him. Can you talk, Amir? Amir. Mustafa. Nope. All right. I'm going to go to Summertime Steve real quick. Man, tell us about those awards, dog.
Oh, yeah. For the people who were on the call yesterday with the supervisor call with Garen, I spoke for quite a long time, actually, about the award ceremony. And somebody's unmuted. Plenty wind. Thank you. But it was, I don't know, it was really eye-opening, especially for somebody who usually when I go to the events, I'm sitting pretty close or, you're getting some kind of recognition. But to be in a room with, when they stick you at the back of the room and they look at you crazy because you got a gold wristband on, like, why are you there? And, or silver wristband, they put you in the back corner and you watch like a room full of over 400 President's team members walk the stage getting – man, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Then you see the big crazy numbers from people who are getting these $1 million checks. And I think it just, for myself, it really just opened up like what's possible. I mean, Leslie Stanford, like I told him yesterday, how she closed out was absolutely was perfect for me personally, because she was like, I forget the number she said, but she's like, the average Herbalife member makes like $400 a month. She said, and I'm what's possible, because she made $2.7 million that night. They gave her that. So for me, it's like, well, you have the option, you have the opportunity to earn. If you stay long enough, you contribute long enough, you have the option to the ability to one day walk the stage and, get blessed for all your hard work. So the energy was crazy. It was hours and hours and hours of people getting thousands and thousands of dollars, and we're just like jaw dropped the whole time. So it's a little bit of a motivation to get to work, and also know that we only been around for 2 and 3 years, and we got so much more time to put in because we got so much more that we can earn. So, yeah, that 2.7 million. It's a lot of money, man. So, yeah, that's my shortened takeaway.
Nice. So, basically, I was inspired too, of course, and it's really because this is my third time hitting a President's Team Summit. This is my second time qualifying. I qualified for honors last year, and 2 years ago it was in Paris, and I didn't qualify, but I flew out to Paris, France, anyway, to just kind of like see everything and just enjoy what Herbalife had to offer, for everybody. But what we got to do now, you guys, is understand that we got to work in 5-year plan increments, right? 5-year plan, right? Our upline, 4 levels up, Mark and Jill Addy, their bonus check was 1.5 times as much as I made as a President's Team member last year. Just a bonus, right? So that's eye-opening for me because I'm with them all the time in meetings and working on strategy. And their upline, Andrew Coatman, who's from Australia, a lot of you guys, met him. And if you don't know him, I'll definitely try to introduce you guys at any given moment because he's always around you guys. And he told Mark and Jill, 5 years to President's Team. And Mark and Jill Addy, Top 20. They were number 20 in the world. Royalty, right? They hit President's Team 5 years to the month from when they went full-time, which was they decided to go full-time in December 31st. 5 years later, they hit President's Team. Now with their 10-year anniversary actually coming up later this year, I think in June, they're 30K, 4 diamonds, top 20 in the world. So this is you guys' upline. This is the closest that you get to do is 5 years. What 5 years look like for you, what 5 years look like for the next person may be different, but we got to be in it for the long run. Those big checks came from people who were in the business enjoying massive success for 10, 15, 20 years, 25, 32, 35 years. There are people who, hit President's Team in 1 year. I met this couple. They hit President's Team in 1 year, and they've been in the company for 21 years. So they were President's Team for 20 years. You guys do not want to know these people's lifestyles. Yes, you do. So get to the events so you can meet these people, hear these stories, hear this inspiration. But we got to not get caught up in, what the inspiration is going to do. We got to get caught up in, the technical work and the front end work of building our business, you guys. So with building our business, we're getting back to, I'm going to do it again just because I like doing it and it's an amazing thing. First thing we got to do is start off with understanding the consumer web that we have. This is mine for February. I redrew it. Again, this is my front line, okay? This is my frontline client list. There's a little bit of depth over here. You can see one person brought one person that brought one person. And this is my wholesale list. So these are members who order, who contribute to my volume. When I go to my orders on myherbalife.com and I click the tab on supervisor, right? Then anybody that's in my downline whose order contributed to my volume, I see their name as a member. Some of these you'll see a circle with a name under it. That means as a member, they order for somebody else. Ooh, this member is really active right there. She's a member. She got 4 or 5 clients. That's great for a new member. She's already qualified producer going for supervisor this month. She's going to hit for sure, which is going to be very, very exciting. So it's getting you guys as consumer group. This is everybody's first deal is to write this out. Now this makes it easy through this month and through next month, being able to keep track of people because they're all in one place. Now, the page is so small that I have to go into different levels just to fit everybody. A great way to even write your levels is to just write people per week. So if you get 2 new clients in 1 week, just write them at the top. And then take a second line down for people of the second week of the month. We're right now in the second week. So your new clients, or when you go to your orders, the new orders that your downline members have done, put them on the second line, right? As you get to the third week, this is from last month, so I haven't done it yet for, March, and I'm going to do it again for March to make it even better. As you get to the third week, and you can just start on the 14th or the 15th, right? Anything after the 15th, write it on the third line, and then create a fourth line for that last week in the month, right? So therefore, it's even easier to track when that person should reorder. My front line, my top line people will reorder at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of next month, so that I can start my month powerfully. And then as I'm going through the next month, then here's the second week people and the third week people. This is just a way to organize a web even more detailed to help you so that you don't know where your volume's coming from. But see, for me, I know this is what I can do and look at my volume. I did 7,600 personal volume points last month. I know my personally purchased volume points was 1,900. Personal consumption and clients, right? That means there's a lot of volume in my wholesale that I want to keep track of and maintain, right? So that I can keep the high volume, which is going to keep me having people move up the marketing plan, which is going to keep me being able to qualify for VIP and vacations, right? And it's going to keep my wholesale check that comes on the 15th high. So your wholesale can still be $1,000 $1,500 without you having supervisors that make up that royalty check, right? Royalty and wholesale come in the same check on the 15th. And I'm maintaining this part of my check. You got to know where your money comes from. Retail, this cash, this comes in the check. And then all my supervisor reports show me what's going to come in the greatest part of that check on the 15th, which is the royalty, right? And some of these people, as their members, all I'm doing is treating them like clients, right? And helping them stay on their health results so that they order again, which was amazing to see already in March. This guy, Mark, had another 150 volume points. Crystal had a couple 100 volume points, you know, already. So with me, without me even having to do any personally purchased volume, I'm almost at 2,000 volume points without any personal purchase volume since we've been at an event, you know, all week, and I haven't got any new clients, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing thing this web is, right? This is just the start as I'm showing you how to create volume. And as you guys who are in somebody else's downline, and you start building your downline, you show them how their volume is looking, right? And this is proof of volume. So that means that when you get to 2,500 and you want to get your active supervisor cuts, I want to see if you got this, because it doesn't make sense to hit 2,500 if you bought the last bit, the last 300, 400 volume points. That's not hitting the cut. That's buying volume. We don't want people to buy volume just to say I'm active. I don't want you to buy volume just to say I hit 5 or I hit 75. Only buy what you need. Only buy what you're going to consume. And most people aren't doing hand-to-hand sales, so you shouldn't have a great amount of stock. Yeah, I got a couple flavors at the house because I like mixing my flavors up. But I don't have all the flavors at my house because I like Formula One Sport. But I just keep, you know, Hydrate, I keep Lift Off, I keep Bev Mix, right? I keep Apple Fiber, and I keep Teas. But I don't have all the shake flavors, and I'm not going to buy all the shake flavors, you know, because there's no point in stocking up volume just to be buying volume, just to be able to hit some type of cut, right? You want to have integrity with your volume, and this is your proof. So as somebody does high volume, if they can't show you something like this, and they're in your downline, you might want to be worried about it because it's an instability. Because it's not coming from consumption. All these people are buying stuff for consumption. No, none of these people are buying stuff to hit a promotion. I'm not buying from volume to hit a promotion. Does this make sense, you guys? Everybody's aligned, right? And all of this, as well as when we're dealing with new clients, we're talking about full retail, right? We're not talking about discounts. We're not talking about private messaging people and saying that you got it for the 25 or 35% off. We're talking about full retail, you know, tax and shipping included and everything, so that you can get your profit, so that if they ever decide to become members, right, if they, you know, bring you people and they're consistent and they become members, they understand that they should be doing full retail, because as they're your downline, you want them to earn their profit, which is going to keep them motivated because they're making money. When people don't make money, they stop the business. Does anybody want to lose business? Downline, supervisors, anybody, right? Well, the key is to start having these philosophies and these habits that earn and don't take away. You know, if you start discounting, you losing 10, 15, 20%. Nothing good with that, right? Cool. So the summit happened. I seen some $1 million checks. Yeah, that's cool. Whoa, big, what you do, right? No, it's amazing, right? Because this company, Herbalife, loves you. They don't even ask, like, all you gotta do is do what you gotta do. They're gonna make sure that you get everything that you're supposed to have and more, right? So the next area, right? We have our consumer base. We have our personal volume lined up. This conversation, you guys been hearing it a lot? I've been doing a lot of the webbing conversation. I'm gonna keep doing it so that it starts getting really familiar, so that you guys get comfortable with it, so you guys can start taking pictures of your web and showing your upline, showing the group, you know, the picture of the web, right? But the next area that we're going to talk about and something that we want to have as a goal is Active World Team. Any Active World Team members on the phone right now, on the Zoom right now? Right? So with Active World Team, for those who don't know what the qualifications is, I'm going to go over it. You got to do all 3 qualifications that you can get to World Team with. So World Team, you can get it by doing 10,000 personal volume points in 1 month. The second way you can get to World Team is having 10,000 organizational volume points, which is, from your downline supervisor, or you can look at 500 royalty points. The third way is to do 4 months consecutively of 2,500 volume points to get world team. That's the most traditional way people do it. Now, if you do all 3 of these qualifications within a 6-month period, you'll be active world team. Now, active world team, the cool thing about it is you have to re-qualify active world team every year. So I've already qualified 4 times, and I haven't even had my 3-year anniversary, but I did qualify 2012, 13, 14, and now in 2015, right? So when I say, is there any active world team on the line, we got to talk about people who qualified this year. And I still will acknowledge people who qualified in 2014 because you still have all of 2015 to qualify, right? So you're going to get some perks. You're going to see a lot more edification of active world team. You're going to see a lot more involvement of active world team in TAB discussion, which is global expansion team and discussions. You're going to see a lot of that, you guys. A lot of the promotions just with Herbalife Corporate is going to evolve around active world team. And there's some stat that, 1 out of, or like, I don't know, it's some like 90% of people with active world team stay in the business. It's some crazy stat like that, right? So not just going for active world team, but getting your people to active world team is beneficial to your business. Getting people to start having that royalty check. That's what it's about, is they're getting a royalty check now as their organization is growing that gets people to, stay in the business and start seeing the bigger picture as the wholesale and the royalty, increase is going up, you guys. And plus, the President's Team Summit next year, 2016, is in Cancun. Hey! So, yeah, markets all day turned up. So with that, you could qualify, and then they give you like experiences based on the amount of stars that you have. And a star is an active world teamer. You get 5 stars in your organization, all levels deep, 3 levels deep, that aren't TAB members, and they have like Chairman's Club experiences, and you get a free trip. They pick you up from the airport in, either an Escalade or a Stretch something, free accommodations, way more products in your room, all kind of crazy stuff. Herbalife loves you guys. So, once again, we're dealing with our consumer web, personal volume, and as we're building our team and we're having our team, like even those who aren't in my downline, I know there's a lot of people that I don't recognize, but we're all a team. The team, you guys must all focus on achieving your active world team status this year and getting that 2015 pin. Because there's a lot of people, even President's Team members, who don't qualify active world team every year. And it's a big deal. It's a very big deal to qualify active world team each year because it's that 10,000 personal volume points that gets good. And the reason why 10,000 personal volume points is a big deal, or, we had a 5 gets 5 month, is because more than likely your 10,000 volume points is going to be made up right here in this wholesale category. Your wholesale check is big, but you have members ordering volume for themselves and their clients. So what you're doing is staying high production. President's Team members, and I'm speaking as one, you guys, who aren't hitting active world team, they're probably stuck at their President's Team with no real goals and no real momentum and trajectory of going to whether it's a 15K, 20K, 30K President's Team. I heard something today in our President's Team meeting which had me inspired, and it said, all President's Team members are not equal. Which is not to say people are better than other people, but it's to say that we get to choose what type of President's Team member we get to be. Same thing as Herbalife members are not equal. Not saying that you're going to get more or less love from Super Mario or your upline or your sidelines or the people that you're around, But some Herbalife members are pure consumers. You know, no drive to build a business and make a career out of what we do. Some Herbalife members are, you know, health coaches. They like coming to fit camp. They might have a client or two. They love the products. They love the brands, but they probably also love their regular job, you know, that they're doing. Or they're in school to go do some other career, and Herbalife being what they do part-time, they love that. They love being a health coach, which is, I love them too, right? They have a place. It's great. Love them where they're at. And then you have people who are builders, people who show up to all events. That's local events, that's STSs, that's regional events, that's extravaganzas. You know, people who want to be on the Zoom call and take notes. You know, people who contribute to private group pages. You know, people who are recruiting people into the business and getting new clients as well. People who want to build a business, people who want to build a royalty, people who want to build a willable asset that when they pass away, their distributorship goes to somebody they love, and that person that they love gets to collect their president's team check. Ooh, oh, you can do that with Herbalife, yes. So members are all different, and not all members are equal. And we get to choose which member we want to be. And there's nothing wrong with any choice that anybody does. And there's no pressure for anybody to do more than what they want to do. You don't ever do 2,500, that's fine. If you're doing 1,200 and you got people that's ordering and they love the products and they getting results and you're getting results, and you know you're feeling great every day because of how the shakes taste and how the team makes you feel, excellent. Those who choose to start the beginning of the month and declare big, because that big declaration is going to be what takes them to the next level. That big declaration is going to be what gets them on the global expansion team, or gets their downline big enough, you know, or inspires the world, or has them sitting VIP and eligible to talk to the VIP members and the president's team members so they can learn and get the nuggets that they want to get. You know, those people, I take them where they're at. And we get to have a conversation with pressure, right? What we got to do right now is say that when we declare something like President's Team and beyond, and those who know what Chairman's Club is, which is 5 frontline President's Team members under you, or Founder Circle, which is 10 President's Team members, when you just declare that and put that in your sights for whenever it happens, there's different conversations that we all have to have. There's no just, I promise you guys, there's no coasting the President's Team. Right, everybody, mute yourself. Mute all. Yep, cool. Right? There's no coasting to, you know, being able to earn $250,000 a year. You can't coast to that. You can't coast to making with Herbalife $60,000 or $30,000 a year. You can't coast to that. You can't skate to that. It's going to take work. And people's greatest misconception is understanding how much work it takes to be successful. This group has no problem declaring big. We have no problem shooting for the stars, and if we land less than it, we're still landing higher and further than most people in the world does, because Herbalife provides that opportunity. But most people underestimate the work that it takes, not just in the streets talking to people, not just in the gym getting muscles, but, you know, even on yourself, on your mentality, on your habits that it takes to get successful and get President's Team, no matter what the speed is. So we got to be realistic. You got to know how much it takes, because guess what? It's your success is based on other people. So how hard do you have to work to get enough people inspired, in love with products, you know, and ambitious enough to see the best in themselves where they want to do this business with you? As I sit here and look at all the faces of the people that I've grown to know and love, over the past, 3 years, some people are friends and family that I know already. Some people are strangers that I met or invited or somebody else invited and I met, right? As I look at all these faces, you guys, I see Chairman's Club members. I see President's Team members. I see people that are on the stage being inspiring, but you have to see it more than I see it. And daily you have to test yourself and think about, are you doing the things that's right in line with what you said that you want? Showing up, going hard. I love this app, that Time Hop app. Anybody got that Time Hop app? They see what they posted on like Facebook or Instagram a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago. I love it because I know where I was at before Herbalife. And I can see like my content and, just some of the things, the attention-seeking behavior that I did, but it was in definitely the wrong ways, the immorality. I see all that. But what I also get to see is what I did at the 1 year mark. Being that anything that I see posted right now is exactly almost 3 years to the day of my starting of Herbalife. So as I look at the things that's getting posted 1 year or 2 years ago, I seen tremendous work ethic. I seen moves and opportunities and creating things that lined up with me saying I want to be Prez Team by any means necessary. And when you look back on each day or each LDW or each STS, as you look back at what's going on each month, when we go to next year, are you going to be able to look back and be like, man, I was out there getting it, right? Is there going to be a difference between what you did back then and what you're doing now, in a year from now? Is it going to be congruent? Are you going to be able to look back and be like, yeah, that makes sense because I started this, or I was doing this, or I had so-and-so with me, and we did this, and I showed up at this event. And when I say events, you guys, it's not just Herbalife events. It's any event where you can have your brand and your products out there. Health fairs, school, high school and college, basketball and football games and open houses, right? Other seminars, expos, right? I was at a wedding expo talking to people because women that are getting married want to fit in their dress. But there's things that you have to do that nobody can train you on, right? There's things that you're going to have to do that you can't wait for your upline or a Zoom call or a post of somebody else doing it that's going to make you say, oh, I think I'm supposed to do these things for my business to get some growth. There has to be a proactivity that you decide to do way, way more because it's going to take way, way more than what you're doing and what you're thinking about doing to get as successful as you want to get. And I want you guys to know, or at least ponder, is it worth it? Because I'm going to tell you it's worth it. But as you think about sleeping less, getting up early, talking to a ridiculous amount of people, investing in your branding, right? Taking no days off, is it going to be worth it for you? Is 1 year or 2 years of that without even hitting Global Expansion Team worth it? Is going 3 or 4 years without hitting Millionaire Team, is it going to be worth it? When who knows if your 5th or 6th year, that takes you to President Team, because that's when your journey and your mind actually hits that switch. I'll tell you it's worth it being a President's Team member. But you're going to have to decide for yourself right now, is if living a life better than everybody else you ever met worth it? Or is being traditional and having the consistent check, the guaranteed check, which I don't even know if it can be considered a check anymore based off the way that Herbalife pays us, based off the bonus checks. My check ain't nothing compared to the bonus checks, right? But I'm excited about it because 3 years ago, I was in jail. Right? Now, Marcus all day gave me that face. Now, we had a crazy conversation today with the Addy organization president's team, which you guys got to get in these meetings because those who got their bonus checks, they all showed the bonus checks. And I looked and I opened it and I smelled it first because that's what I do with everything that's good. And it's amazing, right? So with the Addy org stuff, you guys, president's team members, there's like 19 of us, plus Andrew Copeman in there. We're just talking about where we're coming from. D, you crazy, right? We just talking about where we coming from. We just talking about, what's been going on. All of us been in about 3.5 years and everything. And so we all went through our goals, right? We all went through what we wanted for our life after coming from this event and seeing more. So at the event, they named the top 100 royalty in North America. Our upline, Garen Jones, 44, right? In the world, Craig. So a lot of testing it. Me, I want to be in the top 100, in the near future. That's just a short-term goal is to get in the top 100. I think I could do that in, 2 years, working as hard as I want to work. I want to be a 30K president's team member. For those of you guys who were at the event, 30K got tables. They had a red rope. They had a liaison that walked you from wherever you wanted to go to wherever you want to go and make sure you weren't lost, make sure you were taken care of, make sure that you had all the food you want. You can go back. They had a lounge. You can go back and eat all day. So guess what you get at 30K? You get the comfort of sitting in the training for a couple hours. Belly full, aloed up, space, right? You don't got to slide by people like in a movie theater. You're close. You can hear better. You can see better. You get acknowledged, right? 30K, that's my goal. 30K is the line. Write this down because you'll see it more, but it's great for you guys to know even now this early. 30K, which means your royalty is $30,000 at the minimum, which doesn't mean that's your check because you got all kind of other factors that get the check really, really big. Right? They probably average $80,000 checks a month. Blech. Right? 30K. That's my goal at the minimum. Okay, you guys? Which is 3 times a regular president's team member's business. So that's a lot of work. That's why you get all that special treatment, right? So 30K is one of the goals and eventually Chairman's Club. So we had a conversation, right? And I'm going to wrap it up so I don't take up too much of your time. And hopefully you guys got a lot of good stuff. But we were told, now, with a 30K mindset, you want to think about getting 10 lines in action. So when I say 10 lines, that means 10 frontline people in action. I'm going to count like my tab members. So for those of you guys who know the org, who's in my organization, and even the sidelines, I'm sure you guys know some of these people, I'm going to count my people in action. Right? And I'm going to say Kyra Hawkins. I can get to 30K by having him as one of my lines in action. Summertime Stephen Crawford in action. Marcus All Day and Clear in action. Terrence the Hero Harkless in action. So that's like my top, my tab right there, front line. Then I go into, my second line. My next level, like the world teamers, right? And I'll say, Ryan and Vanessa are in action, brand new active world team. And then I'll say, Ephraim and Elena are in action. And I got to get 10 lines in action. And then we well, who do you consider in action? Because you guys are going to make these lists of these people in your downline. We got to be well, what's in action? This is what in action means. And maybe some of them who I name might not consider themselves in action. But this is coming from my up line who had a big old bonus check and who I look up to immensely off of what they're doing with their business. To be in action, you should think about Herbalife 6.5 days a week, minimum. I'm not saying you got to do fit clubs all those days. Who does? Well, I'm not going to do 6 fit clubs a week on all those days, right? But you should be thinking about your Herbalife business and what's going to come from it 6.5 days a week. That's that grind, right? Plugged up into a system. That means you're showing up locally to the club. Hey, here's a club. The people that show up here, you're in action. Show up to the STS, you're in action. So as I go out and the people who aren't close in SoCal, I got to look and be like, dang, did they take a picture at STS? Did they say they were going to their local STS? And I don't care how far the STS is. Go far to get far. You got to drive 3 or 4 hours to the STS. What you think everybody who's president's team who was in, who came in the 80s and the 90s, what do you think they were doing when STSs were created? Going up the street? No, they were driving from the bottom of Texas to the top of Texas. They were coming from Alabama through Arkansas to Texas. They were going from Idaho to Seattle. And it was a big deal because they knew what was going to happen at the STS. And they knew that those who go are going to go. Right? So plugged into a system, right? And this is a system, right? Monday, supervisor, only Zoom is a system. Saturday schools are systems, right? Those who are plugged into that, those are your lines in action, right? What other type of person is in action? You don't have to promote the event to them. So think about yourself and think about the people on your team. Hey, summertime, you going to the STS? I ain't never asked him that. What I gotta ask summertime to see if he going to the STS for or not? If I had to ask him if he's going to the STS, he not in action. Right? Does your upline ask you if you're going to the event because maybe you're not consistent with it? Then you're automatically probably not on their list. And if your upline's on this Zoom, I hope they looking right at your face right now. Yeah, he don't be coming. Not in action. Right? Oh, snap. Shobi, he's in action. I see you, dog. Right? That's a line. Cool. All right. You don't have to promote events to them. And really, another part of the promoting the events is they're promoting the event to you. You want to be excited about the STS to be like, yo, I can't wait till March 28th. Not just because you're going to be the featured speaker out there in Long Beach, Super Mario, but it's because I already had, before I knew you was going to be the speaker, I already had 3 or 4 people confirmed to go. Right? I already got, 10 people ready to come. My whole team be driving out together. Like, that person is in action when they start promoting that event to you and they're excited. Oh, I got my LDW ticket. That's the person who's in action when they're like, I got my LDW ticket. Or when they get the pre-sale and they got their wrist. If you ain't got your wristband for LDW or what they got, the pin that they got now for the next LDW, for the next extravaganza, for the next January kickoff, those people who get their pre-sale are in action and got the magnet pin or the wristband to prove it. Right? This is for you to take and for you to analyze your downline, right? Cool. In action. They have a goal. They say president's team, right? And everybody on here wants to be president's team. Those who are brand new, shout out to the brand new supervisor, they want to be president's team, don't even know what president's team is. But even more is those who have their close immediate goals, which we want to talk about, finishing out 2015, into extravaganza 2016, who know what they can work towards and get. You guys can get and have whatever you want. Everything's possible. But who can really honestly say, yo, I can think I can hit meal team, by the end of the year, and are working towards that type of goal, which is tangible, and you're able to track and plot it, based on the amount of supervisors or downline they have and that you're bringing in and the volume that's being produced. Those people are in action. Those are people that you want to be considered, and you want to consider as you start making your list of, I got to get me 10 lines, which I still have to get me 3-4 people to be building, right? And I want to get 10 lines outside of the tab that I have right now of more people in action. I'll race you guys to it if y'all want to do it, right? And the last thing, how you know somebody's in action. They got 20 people right here. So whether it's clients with second line clients, right, that they brought referrals. So these are all your frontline clients, once again, you guys. And the people they bring are your frontline clients, but they're referrals. And eventually they'll move to the other person's client. And then your members. So your downline who's ordering and your clients, those consumers, this is what you call a consumer group of at least 20 people. This is 31 people on here. That's cool. I'm with it. I guess I'm in action. I guess I show up to events. I guess I have goals. I guess I'm plugged into a local structure, and I'm plugged into systems because I push start on the Zoom, right? What else we got? And I promote the events, and I go to the events, and nobody has to promote the events to me, right? And if you want to know more about events, myherbalife.com, myherbalifeevents.com for the big events is going down, you guys. We want to start going for our 10-stone pin, which is 10 frontline active supervisors, 3-stone pins, 5-stone pins, 7-stone pins, right? All of these things are going to make up a consistency and a stability in your organization, right? Me personally, I know a lot of you guys are just consumer supervisors. I know who's on here, and that's okay. A lot of people won't go all the way, right? And I'm going to say it to you guys. Not everybody's going to make it, and that's your choice. And it's not saying that nobody's not allowed to make it. It's just inevitable some people won't make it, okay? But these conversations that I'm going to give you will mince no words and will not keep away anything pertinent to your growth away from you. Where you just came out of the womb of being a member and you're a brand new supervisor, where you've been a supervisor for 2 years, 2.5 years in your tab. I'm going to speak to you guys with the same amount of information so that you can have it. So if you want to go right now, you can have so much to have with you and to be able to implement and to be able to consider as you guys are starting the Herbalife journey. I'm going to speak to you from a level up here, and you may not understand it, and you may buck against it, and it might not make sense yet. And trust me, it happens. It happened to me. I know it happens in my downline with my leaders as I say something, and it takes maybe a month or two for some of them to experience it as their team grows. I'm always going to talk to you from a higher level, right? Like your parents will. I'm not going to there's no baby talking in your kids, right? How many of you guys got kids and y'all baby talked to them when they were little, or did you talk to them like an adult so that they can get everything early and be developed early and tell them about the world and show them the way early and warn them on what's going to happen as they get a teenager and adult early so that when it comes up, it already made sense. Like my mama told me not to talk to strangers, and now I don't talk to strangers and I never got kidnapped. Hey, that's cool, right? Shout out to everybody who never got kidnapped. So all questions are good questions, you guys. Anybody want to ask something or just say something? I'm excited to hear you, so you can either raise your hand or unmute yourself. Perfectly fine. Boop, boop. I'm looking. Do I see any hands? No hands. Everybody's shy. Oh, you guys, shout out to Mr. Garen Jones, my sponsor. You guys, Upline 30K Executive President's Team member, bonus award winner, red carpet walker, 30K sit on the tables and on the red carpet and be on the other side of the rope, segregated from us. Y'all upline Garen Jones on the line so y'all can wave to him. You know what I mean? But if anybody got something to say, make sure y'all unmute yourself or raise your hand. Oh, I see you. Reggie, go ahead, dog.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, I just like that piece that you had about just like being able to tell who's in action. Because a lot of times you're trying to question yourself whether this person wants it or not. So being able to see, you know, through their actions, through their words, you know, are they bringing up the events before you are? Do they have goals? Are they thinking about Herbalife all the time? All those things where they're showing you, you know what I'm saying, versus just talking about it. Like that was really helpful for me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's a hard conversation a lot of time that you got to have with somebody, you know, especially if you have somebody who's on this Zoom, and just because they showed up on this Zoom don't mean they're in action. But if you have somebody that's on the Zoom and you want to reach out to them and say, yo, you're not on my list, and this is why, like, you have to have that conversation, right? I remember when Gary had a conversation with me. He said, yo, you got to get your generals. And I was naming people, and he was like, yo, he ain't a general. Guess what I did? I told him he ain't a general, didn't I? Hurt my goddamn heart. Hurt Marcus all day feelings. But I wanted to make my twin brother my general. But there were things that weren't in action to allow him to be so. Summertime Steve laughing, but guess what? I told him about his list of people, right? And I said, no, he don't count. No matter how close this person is to you, that doesn't give them a pass or a leeway into being a general, right? You don't go to West Point and then say, oh, I'm gonna bring Billy Bob. He gonna be my general, and he ain't did the training and he ain't doing the things he's supposed to do. Shoot, y'all whole platoon gonna get cracked if you're depending on him. This means you're depending on somebody who's not a general, who's not a star, meaning like active world team type of star, not like, you know, superstar, you know, meaning he's not, you know, active supervisor, meaning he's not what in action, like we just said. You're depending on him to build your business when he gonna get the whole platoon killed. We just talking about dependability, that I can say this line will bring this. And this line will make this happen. No, this person ain't doing nothing. He unstable because they ain't at the events. They got other stuff going on. That's cool. I'm going to love you where you at. But you not what I depend on. I'm building with the lines that are in action. Not everybody going to go. And you can't count the people who's here present if they not in action. Showing up's not good enough to be considered a leg, part of a table. If we all eat and you got to be a leg of the table and you want to put this little baby leg on the side with all the meat, like, yo, we ain't none of us going to eat because everything going to fall. Because you're putting this inactive person that you're close to as one of your generals, right? And that don't mean that they can't just make a flip and be a general the next day. You can be whatever you want with a decision, with a choice, and then with action. Every day. Ah, man, I've been slacking on this. Boom, it's changed, it's done. Tell a different story, right? But you got to be honest with people, because this is building a business. When you tell somebody your goal, well, I got to be honest with what it took for me to get to Mill, you know, president team, and what I'm going to do to go beyond, and how I got to look at it and how I think about things, right? It's just necessary. So matter of fact, Garen made a great point. He has his other Zoom starting at 6:30. That was posted in Urban Heroes. I'm sure you guys know the link. So if there's anybody who quickly want to say something or not, let me know. Let me see a hand or ask a question, whatever it is. I'm excited to see everybody. What up, Rhonda? Huerta. What up? Nope. Well, if that's it, you guys. Yeah, right, Kyra? If that's it, you guys, then I'll see everybody later.